Acts chapter 10, verses 9 through 16. And about the 6th hour, Peter went up on the housetop to pray. And while he was praying, he became hungry and wanted to eat some food. But while they were preparing it for him, he fell into a trance and saw heaven opened and an object like a sheet coming down, containing every kind of four-footed animal, wild beasts, creeping things, and birds. Then a voice came to him and said, "Kill and eat." But Peter replied, "No, not at all, Lord, for I have never eaten anything unclean or impure." The voice spoke to him again. "What God has made clean, you must not call impure." Twice more this happened, and when Peter had seen the vision, it was taken from him. Then immediately the 3 men who had come into Joppa approached Peter. And while he was still in the trance, he saw them and said, "I saw in a vision, therefore. Do not call any man unclean or impure." So they told him what had happened when they arrived at the house. And as he explained it to them, they were astonished that God had given him such a sign. And when they had come to the place where they were, it was the house of Cornelius, an Italian soldier. And he welcomed them, marveling as he heard the same words that Peter had spoken. He told them, therefore, what he had seen in a vision, which coincided with what Peter had told him. He believed in God, he and all his household, who were baptized. So now we see Peter having a vision here on the rooftop. He's been fasting. He's been praying. And while he's praying, he gets hungry, and he's waiting for them to fix him some food. Well, while he's waiting, he has a vision. And in the vision, he sees a sheet being let down from heaven containing all kinds of unclean animals. Now, remember, they had been taught under the law of Moses that there are certain animals that are clean and certain animals that are unclean. And if you eat the unclean animals, you will be made ceremonially unclean. So Peter says, "No, I'm not going to eat those." So then the voice says, "Do not call impure what God has made clean." So Peter is getting ready to have this vision explained to him. While he's having this vision, 3 men show up who have come from Joppa. They're looking for him. And Peter goes over and talks to them, and he tells them that, "Hey, I just had this vision. I saw these animals and I didn't eat them because I've been taught that they unclean." The Lord says, "Don't call them unclean. Don't call them impure." And then they go and they tell Cornelius what Peter had seen. And Cornelius had a similar vision, basically the same vision. So then Peter goes over and explains it to him, and he preaches the gospel to him. Cornelius and his family believe, and they're baptized. Well, why did Peter have this vision? He had this vision to prepare him to preach the gospel to the Gentiles. You see, up until this point, the gospel had only been preached to the Jews. Now it was time for it to be preached to the Gentiles. Peter needed to have his mind blown about what God had done. So this is why he had this vision, because God was getting ready to open up the door for him to preach the gospel to the Gentiles.